Guys and girls, I love bringing you good news. I love bringing you the exciting details. I love digging through the data mines and showing you the good stuff. But I also gotta respect the brand. I gotta respect the mantra. And I gotta respect the hashtag. And that's why I gotta make this video, because I love you guys. And I'm not gonna let your hearts get broken, okay? I love this game, I love you, and I have told you, I have promised you, that hashtag Trust SwitchForce would mean something. And even though this is not the most fun to say and make, guys and girls, I owe it to you. I gotta fill you in. And based on my knowledge, my research, and my experience, you're being tricked. Tonight, I thought work was done. But when you are on the case of ACNH like I am, work is never done. And I promise you, I didn't just make this video to showcase how glorious my island looks at nighttime, but it does look really good, doesn't it? It's quite lovely, it's quite fancy. These new bumper boats are amazing, oh my goodness gracious. But that's not what we're here to discuss, okay? Enough of that. A little bit ago, my good friend Pat posted this new video. E3 season is getting spicy, let's discuss the latest rumor. And it's a huge rumor about Kapp'n. So then I went and I said, that's interesting. I haven't heard anything about this. What exactly is going on? And I saw that here's where the rumor originated. From Nintendo leaker Samus Hunter. Someone on Twitter asked, do you have any info regarding the island expansion update people are teasing from the ACNH Datamine? Or any other updates? And Samus Hunter replied, among some parts of the plans I read, island expansion was not mentioned. Since Kapp'n will be one of the main characters in the next update, it could be for the boat rides. And so Samus Hunter is subtly leaking that Kapp'n is going to be the next big thing in the next big update, and possibly, probably, maybe is bringing his boat rides to the dock along with him. Now, Nintendo Talk made a video about this, and look, I've been doing this for a very long time. The better part of 2 decades, I have been aggressively, intensely, and determinedly following video game news, video game websites, magazines, podcasts, forums, all of it. I've seen it all. And so I know that anything can happen. Never say never. So, you know, it could. But I also have a trained eye for this. And I've done this long enough to know legit from not so much. And so I want to run you through. I mean, this sounds so plausible, right? Kapp'n would make perfect sense. And it would be one of those big things that we really have wanted and needed and dreamed of. You know, the idea of bringing a boat to the dock, right? The idea of multiplayer minigames. This is something that we've talked about forever. This is something we've discussed on Nook Talk ad nauseum. This is something that has been mentioned, and it seems like it really could be part of the next update. And that is where the trouble lies, my friends, because this leak, it's not real. There's a number of reasons, and I will do my best to be as cordial as I can. Because, you know, hey, there's always a chance, right? There's always a shot, but here's the deal. This leaker employs a very interesting style of going about their leaks. And by that I mean they copy other leaks, and then they use very generic wording. So let me give you an example. Hey, guess what? There's going to be some Zelda news this month leading up to E3. That was a post. Well, we already knew that the Age of Calamity DLC is releasing at the end of the month, so of course they have to talk about it. And it would only make sense that Zelda would get a mention because of that, and probably because the 35th anniversary is occurring as well. Or how about saying that the E3 plans are going to be revealed soon, when they're revealed around the same time every single year? And if that still doesn't convince you, well then there's this. This leaker posted that Pokemon Unite was being referenced by the company working on the game when they tweeted that they were excited about a new trailer that was chronicling a franchise that had existed for decades. And so a number of Nintendo leakers thought this was about Pokemon Unite, and they posted that this was their evidence that Pokemon Unite was going to be featured in Nintendo and Pokemon Company's next presentation, which is pretty obvious because of the fact that, hey, Pokemon Unite has been in beta testing and it's due out soon. But that's not what the company was referring. Their tweet was referencing a new Metal Slug mobile game. And this is where hopefully the cracks start to show. This is where hopefully all of the walls begin to tumble down, as my good friend John Mellencamp once said. Everybody wants to have insider information, but you really got to bring specificity to the equation, and you really got to bring uniqueness. You can't just take other things that people say, and you can't just make very, very obvious statements. Like it would be if I said Nintendo is going to have some really big games at E3, and they're going to be talking about the next game in the Legend of Zelda franchise. This is something that anyone could guess, and that's how most of this leaker's comments go down. So, think about Animal Crossing. Think about the summer. What character fits the absolute best in the summer for Animal Crossing New Horizons? Is it Brewster? Nah. Is it Digby? Nah. It's Kapp'n. Kapp'n makes the most sense because Kapp'n is the summertime guy. He's the guy in the boat, and it just adds up. So if you were to guess what character would be in the next Animal Crossing update for this summer, Kapp'n would be your pick. And I really think that this rumor is nothing more than a guess. There has never been an actual Animal Crossing leak. Not like this. There have been data mines that we call leaks, but rumors aren't really a thing with this game. Nintendo is very tight-lipped about it, and people don't seem to have a clue. We're very often completely surprised by the updates. I mean, we're surprised sometimes that they aren't what we thought they should be. They kind of are lower, but we never know. We dig through the code, and that's where I've come up with things like, hey, look, there's a museum cafe in the code. That you can't really argue with. Now, whenever Nintendo decides to unleash that upon our hopeful faces, that's up to them, but we're looking at actual data, not just something that is hearsay. And I have never heard anyone say that the Animal Crossing team is spilling the beans. Ever. There has not been one point during this wonderful 14 months of ACNH that there's been rumors really like this. It just doesn't really happen with this game for some reason. So, Kapp'n could happen. I'm not going to rule that out of the equation, but it's not because of this tweet. This is leveraging your marbles in the most likely pot so that if it does come true, you look like a genius. And I'm sure there are a lot of other leakers that employ a similar methodology. But when I look for things, I'm looking for people that are contributing something original, unique, and specific. To say Nintendo has something new, to say Animal Crossing is getting Kapp'n, to say Zelda is getting news, these are things, again, that kind of just, yeah, like, you could have guessed that. I could have guessed that, and I wouldn't call myself a Nintendo leaker. I think people are very desperate to be leakers, but I think there are very few that are actually leakers. And so we have to make sure that we parse through the data and we put our ears to the ground, we sniff it out, and we come up with what we come up with. And in this case, I think this is totally false. And I had to let you know because I want you to keep your expectations where they need to be, which is terrifying. Because Animal Crossing New Horizons may have something big and it may not, but right now we don't know. And we're hopeful, and there are data mines, and it seems like eventually they will deliver on those. But it's still TBD of when that happens, how it happens, and what exactly is included. So thank you for trusting me. Thank you for listening. If Kapp'n happens, that would be great. But I don't think it's because of this. All right, you guys stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay awesome out there. How's the island look at night, my friends? It looks pretty good, doesn't it? Smash that like button if you appreciate trust SwitchForce, and let me know in the comments down below how you feel about this developing situation with this rumor. So until next time, everybody, I love you a lot. I appreciate your support always and forever. And until next time, SwitchForce out.